So I'm going to just introduce today our speaker, that is Cintia Mena Duran. She comes from a Mayan community in Mexico, and she had a really tough and uncommon journey through her education, and I think it's a very inspiring, fascinating story. So that led her actually to achieve a master's degree in physical chemistry in the University of Yucatan, and then a PhD just recently, actually just about a month ago, in green chemistry. And I'm just going to let Cintia talk, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. Well, thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to share part of my experience in the life, because it's that. But before I start, I'm going to say good afternoon. How are you? No, come on, I kind of feel like, how are you guys? Ready for the Christmas?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, good. Now, we need to start in that good mood. My talk is going to be, if you are expecting to see graphs and catalytic reaction, no, I'm not going to put a lot of that. I'm going to talk more about my journey from Peba, that is my community, to come to York. And the title, I think, is for all of us. We can make a change. Whatever we are going to do, whatever we do now, we can make a change in our world. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Peba. I don't have a, do you have a stick?
There's a stick.
Oh, yep. Can I move with this? Yes. I have the cord. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Peba. Peba is my community. It's a very small community. Julia mentioned it's a Mayan community, and we are just 250 people. Peba is here, according with Google Maps. Cancun is here, you can see, I come Cancun. We are in Peba. So in Peba, we just have like a small kindergarten. We have 8 kids. That's when I went to this year in June. We just have 8 kids in the kindergarten. And we have a primary school that it has just 30 kids. So in Peba, we just can't have like until primary school in the place. So if we need to keep further with our studies, we need to leave our community. And we have something interesting in Peba that is a cenote. Cenotes, I don't know if you have heard about cenotes, but in the peninsula, in all Yucatan, in Mexico, we have like this kind of, there are caves with water, and very, very clear water. They are also the other type of cenotes, that they are open. And well, it's in this region, in the Mayan region, it's very popular to have this. And also this is the only source of water that we have. In Yucatan, we don't have rivers because our soil is very permeable, so all the water comes through the underground. So this is our resource, and also is a tourism attraction. So that's about Peba. Keep in mind that. I'm going to talk now about me and my way to do chemistry. Hope that I can be quick enough. So as I said, we finished the primary school, and you need to go to another place to study. But in Peba, where in Latin American societies is something called machismo. Like you are a girl, if you're a girl, it's very difficult to go to school, because there are that attachment like just boys can go to school, or the girls need to stay at home learning to do the house duties and get married and have children, and that is the stuff for girls in small communities, in rural communities, in Mayan communities. However, my parents were very brave and very, very supportive. They always say like, you can do whatever you want, you need to keep going. If you need to go to study, you can do it. But as I said, Peba, I needed to go to another place called Muna, that is over here. But from Peba, it's just not taking a bus and going to the school. I needed to cycle every day 5 kilometers to arrive to the main road. And after the main road, wait for a bus to get to this place, Muna. So every day, for 3 years, I was doing that. In the final year, I met an English teacher who just asked me to stay with her. So I stopped traveling all days. So it was good. So every weekend I can go home, and during the weekdays I will be in Muna doing my secondary school. I really like to study. Really, I am kind of like, yes, I really enjoy studying. So I try to keep going with that. In that time, as I had more spare time, I used to be in the choir. So I was in a choir of the community, and we used to sing in Mayan. So our choir was to sing in the Mayan language. So that happened with the secondary school. So when you finish the secondary school, in that time, it was also difficult because my country, Mexico, we are like a kind of classist people. So usually we are going to put like a label. If you come from a small community, if you come from a Mayan community, if you come from a rural community, it's always like people try to make you feel less worth. It's something very difficult, but for me that was my strength to keep going. Like saying like, it doesn't matter where I come from. It doesn't matter that I come from a small community. It doesn't matter that they used to call me like, you poor girl from Peba. I said no. I remember that I really feel like I can show that I'm worth because I'm a human being, and I'm a girl, and my parents were also supporting my ideas and my plans, so I feel like strong, like I said, no, I can do it. So after the secondary school, I needed to move further, and it's going to the high school. But now it was a jump to go to the capital, Mérida. Mérida is the capital of Yucatan. So it was changing from a village of 9,000 people to a city of 1 million people. So that was the change. But the important thing here is I needed to pass an exam. I needed to study in a public school. In that time, this school, the Prepa Uno called, it was just one of the 2 public schools from the city. So there were like 4,000 candidates, and there are just 1,100 places available. So you needed to do it very well in your exam to get a place. I trained myself, I tried to do my best, and I got the 12th in the first 100 exams, so I got my place. And also with that, I got like a right to ask for a scholarship. So, as I said, I'm from Peba, I needed to go to Mérida. How I'm going to go to Mérida? The school there, it starts at 7. We start in Mexico at 7 in the schools because we have 2 double turns. We have from 7 to 1 and to 2 to 7. So I need to wake up, very early, but I needed to take my bike at 4:30 in the morning to cycle 5 kilometers to get the road, and again wait for the bus and go to the city, and wait for another bus to go to my school to be at 7. That was for my first semester. That's important. In Mexico, the schools are 4 semesters. So my first semester I was doing that. But there was a problem because I was spending a lot of money. Almost all the half of the salary of my dad I was spending in travel expenses. And I said I got like the right to get a scholarship because I was one of the 100 best exams. But I didn't get it. The school didn't give me that scholarship. I tried again after the first semester. I got 99% in the marks. So also you had the right to request a scholarship. I did it, and again, I didn't get it. So my parents just told me, like, Cynthia, we cannot afford that you can go to the school because we don't have money. So you need to leave the school. And it was just like very, very difficult because I really like it. I really enjoy it to go to the school. So at that time, my aunt just asked me about if I would like to work like part-time in a house, like a babysitter, and also helping in the cleaning of the house. The deal will be that I can stay in the house for free, and I can go to the school in the mornings. So I needed to go to the school in the mornings, going back at 12:30, 1 p.m., and work in the house until 10 p.m.-ish. Sleep like 3-4 hours, and at 2 a.m. again, doing the homework and everything for the schools. So it was also very, very difficult. I think I have this. So I got that job. I was doing for 6 months my working like a babysitter. But I just mentioned, Mexico is a classist society. I was working with rich people. That rich people, they didn't make me to feel comfortable. They used to discriminate me because I have this tone of color, because I'm not white, because I come from a poor family, because I come from an indigenous community. They always made that point, like I worth less because I'm from a different community. As I said, instead of taking that like it made me feel sad, and I remember it made me feel sad. But it was my strength again to say, like, I don't want to work like this in my life, like being treated like that. I need to gain the scholarship. And if I need to get the scholarship, I need to be the best of the 1,100 students in the high school. So, as I said, I just used to sleep just 3-4 hours. No, I got anemia. I really got sick, but I got it. I was the first place of the 1,100 students. I got 99.1 in the marks. And that was when everything changed, because we received the recognitions in July 2000. And I remember that I used to be in the beach because the rich people have houses on the beach. So we were in the holidays. And I received a phone call that saying, like, you need to come to the school to receive your prize because you were the first place. And I said, oh, well, I asked for permission to go instead of Saturday, leaving my work from Friday. And I went to pick my prize. But before that, they said, you have an interview with a newspaper, with a local newspaper. So for me, that was very, very exciting because, oh, yeah, I'm going to go to the local newspaper. I'm going to be there. But it was very nice when the first question from the journalist was, Cynthia, do you have a scholarship? So that was the question. And I was like, oh no, look, I tried 3 times to get it, and the university, well, in that case, the high school, the university has not given me the scholarship. So it was published, it was there in the newspaper, like Cynthia is like working like a babysitter and trying to pay for her studies, and the university has not given a scholarship. So in that time, the counselor called to my school and say, you need to give her a scholarship. So I got my scholarship, but also in that newspaper, a man called Alfredo Bonfil, he's like my magic granddad. He read the story in the newspaper, and he went to find me at my town. I remember the date, it was the 4th of August, 2000. Yeah, we were having the celebration of my cousin's birthday. So we were there outside of the house. So imagine like a nice car, like very nice, a new car arrives at the door of my house. And they ask, is here, Cynthia Mena lives here? I was like, my mom just asked, Cynthia, what did you do? So imagine like in what concert my mom has. So, and I said like, well, yes, it's me. We invited them. He went with his wife and his daughter. And they said, we read your story in the newspaper, and we just came here to offer our help. We want to give you some like monthly money for your studies, so you don't need to keep working and studying, so you can focus just in studying. My mom also was there, so she said like, why do you want to help my daughter? Like, it's so strange that a rich man comes here and say like, I want to help your daughter. And they said, no, we just want to help. So yeah, it's not more than 14 years now. This picture is from 2011, and I went to visit them. So I started there. I stopped working in September 2000 because I had that sponsored. So I said, okay, now I can focus to do my things.